40 years of riding taught you something. You know what a good engine feels like. You know the difference between a bike that fits and one that fights you. You don't need $28,000 to feel that again. 7 bikes. Used market, under $5,000. Number 5. Most people buy it for the wrong reasons. Senior riders ride it for exactly the right ones. Number 2 will surprise you. It surprised me. Number 1. The comment section is going to earn its keep today. Let's start with number 7. Number 7, Harley-Davidson Sportster 883. The Harley you can actually afford. Here's something nobody expects to find on a budget cruiser list. A real Harley-Davidson. Under $5,000. The Sportster 883 has been Milwaukee's entry point since 1957. And here's what the dealership won't tell you. Used 2004 to 2016 models are trading right now between $3,800 and $4,900. Genuine Harley badge. Genuine air-cooled V-twin. Genuine rubber mount vibration isolation. For the price of a car down payment. 26.3-inch seat on the standard. 25.7 on the low. Dry weight around 545 pounds. Well within the manageable range for a rider who keeps it upright and under control. I'll be straight with you. The Sportster isn't the most refined bike on this list, but it's the one your riding group won't give you grief about in the parking lot. And for a rider coming back after years away, that social ease matters more than people admit. A retired schoolteacher on the Sportster forum said it best. I told myself I'd never spend Harley money. Then I found one for $4,000 and realized I've been spending Harley money on parts for everything else. Just buy the Harley. The used market handed senior riders a gift. Take it. But number 6 didn't make this list for what it is. It made this list for what it does, specifically to senior riders who haven't sat on a bike in years. An MSF instructor told me about it when nobody from corporate was in the room. What he said I didn't expect. Number 6, Yamaha V-Star 650 Classic. The one MSF instructors recommend when nobody's listening. 41 years in the saddle. Retired firefighter. Had owned everything from a Goldwing to a Ducati. And he pointed at a student's V-Star in the lot and said, "That bike has graduated more senior riders back into motorcycling than anything else I've seen in the last decade. It doesn't punish mistakes. It teaches." 645 cubic centimeters V-twin that hums instead of shakes. Shaft drive. No chain to lube. No belt to crack. 27.4-inch seat. Curb weight around 514 pounds that sits so low it feels like less. Pushing around a parking lot, and your first thought is, why does this feel so manageable? That's this bike. Forgiving. Predictable. Honest in a way $15,000 bikes often aren't. Clean 2008 to 2012 examples trading for $3,200 to $4,500. Under 20,000 miles. Shaft drive means maintenance is nearly nothing. But number 5, Honda built that bike for a completely different type of rider. Not for seniors. Not for returning riders. Senior riders found on their own. And there is one number on that spec sheet, one single number, that explains exactly why they claimed it and never let go. Number 5, Honda Shadow VLX 600. The bike Honda built by accident. Here's the number, 25.6 inches. That is the seat height on the Honda Shadow VLX 600. Not a typo. The lowest of any cruiser Honda ever mass-produced. A 5'4" rider can flat-foot it with bent knees. A 67-year-old with bad hips can set it down at a stoplight without a second thought. Honda built it between 1988 and 2007. 583 cubic centimeters V-twin, 39 polite horsepower. And nobody's entirely sure why they ever stopped. A retired nurse from Tennessee wrote something on the Honda Shadow forums that stayed with me. I bought the VLX because I could touch the ground. I kept it because I forgot what it felt like to not worry about dropping a bike. That is exactly what 25.6 inches does. It removes the anxiety. And when the anxiety is gone, the joy comes back. Clean ones run $2,500 to $4,000. One of the lowest insurance claim rates of any cruiser ever sold in America. It just doesn't crash. But the next bike doesn't just remove anxiety. It removes the cost of owning a motorcycle almost entirely. One owner on the forum says it the same way every time. Best free motorcycle I ever had. That's not a sales pitch. That's math. Let me show you what he means. Number 4. Kawasaki Vulcan 500 LTD. The bike Kawasaki stopped advertising and seniors started hoarding. Best free motorcycle I ever owned. Direct quote. Vulcan Riders Association Forum. And here's what it means. The Vulcan 500 stopped depreciating about a decade ago. You buy it for $2,400. You ride it for 5 years. You sell it for $2,400. The motorcycle costs you nothing but gas and oil changes. 498 cubic centimeters parallel twin. Liquid cooled. 50 horsepower. 28.1-inch seat. 439 pounds dry. No V-twin rumble here. What the parallel twin gives you instead is smoothness. No vibration through the bars. No wrist tingle after 200 miles. Clean, manageable power from a motor that will outlast your interest in ever selling it. For a returning rider who hasn't twisted a throttle in years, this is the most confidence-building cruiser ever built. Not my opinion. Every forum thread says the same thing. Now, the next one is where it gets interesting. Because number 3 makes Harley riders nervous. Not angry, nervous. And there's a very real difference between those two reactions. Angry means they think you're wrong. Nervous means they think you might be right. Number 3 Kawasaki Z900RS SE 50th anniversary. The legend that doubled down. The Z900RS was already the best-selling retro in America. For 2027, Kawasaki took the SE trim and refused to play it safe. Olean's rear suspension. Brembo M50 calipers. And the paint. Original 1972 Z1 candy tone brown and orange. Not a reinterpretation. A continuation. 948 cubic centimeters inline 4. 111 horsepower. That signature growl through the new shorter exhaust that sounds exactly like your dad's bike sounded in 1979. This is the one Kawasaki got right. Twice. Quick one for the comments. I genuinely cannot decide. Candy brown orange or the classic green and white Eddie Lawson replica scheme. They're also offering this year. Drop it below. I want to see where this community lands. Now, before we get to number 2 and number 1, I said it at the very start. Number 2 on this list comes from a country most riders, including me, have dismissed their entire career. I said it was going to sting, and I meant it. It earned its place here, not because it's cheap, because it's better than it has any right to be. Don't even think about skipping ahead. Number 2 Moto 750CL C Heritage. The bike nobody saw coming. Yes, CF Moto, Chinese. I know exactly what you're thinking right now. I thought it too. The 750CL C Heritage runs a 749 cubic centimeters parallel twin developed jointly with KTM. 74 horsepower, 419 pounds. A genuine bobber stance, retro round headlight, leather solo seat, exposed shock absorbers. That looks like it should cost $12,000. It costs $7,499 with a 5-year warranty. Honored at hundreds of US dealers right now. I was skeptical, so I wrote it back to back with 3 European bikes on this list. The fit and finish is Japanese level. The paint depth genuinely surprised me. The brakes have real bite. A forum quote that stayed with me. I bought it as a joke. I kept it because it's better than my Bonneville was. Senior riders, if you've been priced out of the retro market in the last 5 years, this is your reentry point. And it is embarrassing brands you've trusted for 30 years. Stop laughing. Start paying attention. Now, number 1. I want to be honest with you for a moment. I almost put the BMW at number 1. I almost put the Kawasaki at number 1. Both picks would have been completely defensible. Nobody in the comments could have argued with either one. But there is one motorcycle on this list that stopped a grown man, experienced rider, not a first-timer cold, in the middle of a Milan dealership. He sat down right there on the showroom floor, went completely quiet, just looked at it. That is not a spec sheet reaction. That is something else entirely. Number 1 Ducati Scrambler 1100 Tributo Pro. The most beautiful production motorcycle of the decade. I don't say that lightly. I don't say it for clicks. The 2027 Ducati Scrambler 1100 Tributo Pro is what happens when Italy stops trying to be modern and goes all the way back to 1962. The original Scrambler, the one that started everything. Brushed aluminum tank with painted side panels. A solo seat with quilted leather that belongs in a gallery. Wire spoke wheels, 19 front, 17 rear. Twin upswept exhausts that look like jewelry and sound like artillery. 86 horsepower from the air-cooled 1,079 cubic centimeters L-twin. Steel tube trellis chassis straight from the Ducati Museum Playbook. Cornering ABS, riding modes, and a TFT display disguised so elegantly as an analog gauge that you forget to screen. $14,995. Heavier than it should be. It doesn't matter. The Milan dealer told me. Entire 2027 allocation. 11 days. Gone. Once you see it in person, you understand. Once you ride it, you understand completely. This is the answer to everything modern motorcycling got wrong. Here's what 2027 actually proved. Retro isn't a trend anymore. It's not a costume manufacturers put on a naked bike to charge a premium. In 2027, retro became the answer to the riders who felt left behind by tech overload. To the community that never asked for ride-by-wire to look like a spaceship. To the senior riders who want to feel something real when they pull out of the driveway on a Saturday morning. Not just ride somewhere. My personal pick? The Kawasaki Z900 RS SE 50th anniversary. Not the most exotic, not the rarest. But here's why. You can buy it today, ride it Tuesday, and still have your neighbor stop and stare when you back it out on Saturday morning. For senior riders who've earned their opinion over decades in the saddle. The kind of soul in a bike you can actually own is rarer than any limited edition ever will be. Now I want to hear from you. Not the dream pick, the realistic one. The one that actually lives in your garage, gets ridden on a Tuesday, and still makes your neighbor stop and stare. Which of these 7 is that bike for you? Drop it in the comments. I read every single one. And if this list did what I hoped it did, if you felt that itch again, hit subscribe. Because next week I'm covering the 5 retro motorcycles that absolutely flopped in 2026. And number 2 is going to start a fight in the comments that I am genuinely not prepared to moderate. Ride classic. Ride sharp. See you in the next one.